Don't let them divide us any longer. Cause there are no bad tribes, only bad people. No more.
Welcome back.
Good versus evil.
One nation. One nation. Welcome back. So now we're looking at the effects of the ASUU strike. The Academic Staff Union of Universities embarked on another indefinite strike, which has shut down no less than 40 federal and 44 state universities. The president of the union, Dr. Pt.1 Ogunyemi, justified the strike on the grounds of alleged breach of the 2009 Memorandum of Understanding it signed with the federal government on funding of universities and refusal to honor the conditions of service and the earned academic allowances of their members. ASUU is unhappy that government has been unenthusiastic in implementing the conditions of service, university autonomy, academic freedom demands of the union, which have been long-standing causes of strikes down the ages.
You know what gladdened my heart? The government for once admitted we are wrong.
That we failed to. But you did not give us notice.
I mean, that had never happened.
No, you missed the point. I admit that we failed to implement it, but you did not give us notice.
Well, we're just continuing a suspended strike. We're not on a new strike.
Okay.
So we didn't need to give you notice.
Okay. So our conversation today is basically on the effects of the strike on the, well, let's use the word stakeholders, the students and the parents. So in the studio, we have a former chairman of the Lagos chapter of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Yakubu Eleto. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
I understand you're now a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you okay. And then we also have in the studio as well a concerned parent. His son is actually in his finals, working on his project, but that's suspended now. Mr. Nkano Igbe, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
He's not my Igbe, but he's an Igbe. Thank you for joining us. We are expecting a representative of the Academic Staff Union of Universities to join us shortly. So let me begin with you, Mr. Igbe. The situation now.
Yes.
What has it been like for you since you heard about this strike action?
Okay, my son, you mentioned my son, he's doing his final project right now. And when he was admitted into the University of Lagos, there was a strike.
Okay.
That strike was in 2013. And so I had to tarry with him until the strike was over, and then he resumed. So that started his journey in the university.
He started with strike and ending with strike.
Exactly. So now we have the the resumption of a suspended strike. So we have another strike. But I also have a daughter who's in the same university who is affected by the strike. But the thing that comes to me is the fact that, I'm sure this is with every parent, the fact that a program starts supposed to be for 4 years, and then it stretches 5 years. We pray it doesn't go 6. But that's what does happen. But again, another concern, and I'm sure that parents outside of the vicinity of the universities would experience this. Having to worry about your ward or your child traveling back and forth because of the onset of a strike or the resumption of studies, and again going back home because the situation has not been resolved. That's what you get. So for us as parents, there's always that anxiety because you want to settle your children as quickly as possible. You want also that they are within the confines of care and safety, of this going back and forth. And then, of course, you want the country to be at peace. With all of these things, strike here, strike there. There's a lot of tension. You don't want any extra tension to add to that. So you have all of those issues.
Okay, Eleto, you as a student, you've experienced, you were there when some strikes happened. You're still a student?
Postgraduate student of OEU.
Okay, you're a postgraduate student.
Yes.
All right. So, but Tell us your experience.
I usually, as an student leader and the present program students, at the hearing of strike, we're always unhappy because of the fact that we know what it means is extension of time. We know that a year program will turn to 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, which is not palatable with us. Because so many of us have structured our time. Okay, we are spending 4 years in university, 1 year for NYC, another year for postgraduate, another year for PhD, or other programs like that. But at the site or at the hearing of ASUU strike, we are always unhappy because of the fact that our year of schooling will be elongated. But notwithstanding, what we also see is that we cannot put everything at the door of ASUU. Because sincerely, what ASUU has been asking for is increase in funding. If there is increase in funding, definitely universities, lecturers will not go on strike. And that is why each time we feel reluctant to blame the academic staff for going on strike. Because of it, we know that the end point, the end result is that we are also going to benefit from it. But internally, we are not always happy because of the fact that the students are at the receiving end because of the extension of time of our academic programs. So that is it. So that's why we, as student activists, we usually support ASUU. We will go on street with them. We will leaflet here. We will campaign that government, please answer ASUU. Because if you answer ASUU, we are also going to benefit from it. If you look at the present, the 2009 agreements signed by ASUU, you will see that the content of the agreements, all of it is that 1.3 trillion naira will be paid by the federal government through the CBN and to university management for what? For revitalization of public university. If universities are revitalized, I don't think lecturers will benefit from it, but we are going to benefit more. We will benefit more from it. And that is why, like I said earlier, that we always feel that it is important that we also throw our weight behind ASUU. In as much their demand stands on welfare of their members, and not in as much their demands is also for increase in funding of the educational sector, we will always support them. So that is
okay. Mr. Gbe, the demands that ASUU has made, I mean, one of them, conditions of service. But the one I want to look at is university autonomy and then academic freedom. So the university authorities can decide this is what we want to study and all of that. Or, I mean, there was a time some universities were having their graduates, more of their graduates, being admitted, I mean, being employed because they said they had more room, more, how does this man put it now, where if they do 1 hour of theory, in that university, they do 1 hour of practicals. That's what they do in that university. But that was changed and everything was now uniform. Do you think ASUU is right to be demanding that autonomy and academic freedom?
I put it this way. We are in the 21st century. I think that just as we are speaking about Nigeria, and I do not want to digress by mentioning the word restructuring, but just as we're talking about Nigeria and the fact that we want all the federating units to operate by themselves, we are in a situation where each university should begin to evolve its own programs.